connoisseurs of movies, literature, and television. You ready to shake things up? Yeah, I know. I switched up the order in my intro. Shaking things up as normal. You may call me Luke Garu. Welcome back to all my previous viewers. Welcome to all my newbies. We are going to feast upon my opinion and thoughts of all things movie, television show, and book. And I say shake things up because my thoughts don't always match popular opinion, which is really sad. And I don't mean that as everyone should think like me. I just find it sad that a lot of things I like and see one way don't get the same love as things I see a different way. Look at Cars 2 and Cats. Two big ones that I absolutely adore that people hate, and I don't know why. Still don't know why. But we're going to do a hit and run. And no, we're not leaving the car. We're not leaving the seat. We're not leaving my house and studio. We are looking at Death Race 2000 and Death Race 2050. They are not shot-for-shot remakes, which is fantastic. But Death Race 2050 is a remake of Death Race 2000. David Carradine in Death Race 2000 and my buffalo chicken flavor, Manu Bennett, in Death Race 2050 both play a racer named Frankenstein. He is touted to be more machine than man. Though only in the 2050 is that actually kind of manifested in the way you hear his joints, servos, and mechanical parts shift and grind. I mean, there's a few scenes in 2050 where you actually watch him repairing his arm. It's really cool. But for those of you who are thinking I am talking about Death Race 2008 with Jason Statham, not these movies. That one is All the Racers Are Criminals, and that is about all I know about that franchise because honestly, I have no desire to watch it. Though, if I get enough people in the comments saying, well, why not? Watch it, give us your opinion on it, well then, I'll Netflix it, like I did these two. Because, hey, I am weird, and I watch darn near everything. Including some adult things that nobody should be watching outside of the privacy of their own home. My camera woman's laughing. Now, Death Race 2050, like I said, is not a shot-for-shot remake. And they added more diversity to the ethnicity of the drivers and navigators. And they changed it from a president to a chairman. But 50 years, a lot of things can change. Heck, it took less than 50 years to get and then overturn Roe v. Wade. So a lot changes in 50 years, whether we realize it or not. And I don't know if they intended this or if it's just a happy coincidence, but massive spoilers. At the end of Death Race 2000, Frankenstein says there will be no more death races. It's barbaric. It's cruel. It's, you know, it's just not needed anymore. It's running people over just for the thrill of running them over. To get from New York to Los Angeles. And I know that's not what they're called, but they're in the United States. So that's where they're driving. And their racers are stereotyped cliches. There was one young lady in Death Race 2000 whose nickname was Nazi. Her car was all bedecked in swastikas. She was replaced by Tammy the Terrorist, which could be any nationality. Then you had the Turbo, who was like an old school gangster, and he got replaced by this genetically altered human being that made fun of ultra masculinity, homosexuality, and gender confusion all rolled into one. So if you're going to be easily offended by any such things, don't watch either of these. Because they shamelessly make fun of and poorly glamorize everything that a person would find offensive. Senselessly running people over for points, gluttony for all the spectators, the names of the racers, the attitudes of the racers. The creator of Death Race 2000 straight up said he wanted to make a T&A movie. For those of you who are too young to know what that acronym stands for, boobs and butts. Just with appropriate words starting with T and A. T for boobs, B for butts. As much as Death Race 2050 was a T&A movie, it was not nearly as open and flamboyant with the nudity. Which is fine. It still got its point across. And both are filmed in campy B-movie fashion. The action is filmed wonky. The dialogue is delivered funny. I mean, they are deliberately meant to be a campy parody of life in an all-consumerist world. Which is another thing that if you're easily offended by, you shouldn't be watching. Now, granted, I know somebody who will not watch either of these movies because they had personally been in an accident and were permanently injured by it. There is no way they can just shake it off. Their life was forever changed that day. And they are a fantastic person. I can talk to them about a lot of things. So, if you're easily, and yes, I'm going to use this word, triggered by car accidents or hit and runs, don't watch these shows either. Because it's literally the glorification of running people over for points. And I know, you heard me in Raucous Remakes that I'm tired of things being remade and rebooted. And I am, especially in the horror and superhero industries. But like BBC's 2004 North and South and Jason Isaacs and Zoe Saldana's Rosemary's Baby, Death Race 2050 is a fantastic remake. And as I was hinting at earlier, could actually be an unintended sequel. Because as I said earlier, a lot changes in 50 years, whether you want to believe it or not. Just look at how quickly we got offended by cartoons and have put the kibosh on things like Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. I found that movie hilarious when it came out. But now, because times have changed and his behavior is inappropriate, they're judging that era by our lenses, which would make things different. Which you should never honestly look at the past through our lenses. You should look at the past and go, holy crap, we did that? We have to change so we don't do that again. But the chairman took over, and because overpopulation was rampant, he reinstated the death race, and to pay homage to the original death races 50 years earlier, they named his most popular racer Frankenstein as an homage to the last great racer. Makes perfect sense if you watch them back to back, because they very much could be. And I can't think of where I'm going. Oh, a Patrick Swayze movie I happen to adore. If it hasn't come under fire yet, will come under fire, which is really sad because, like I said, times have changed. People are becoming more intolerant of that which used to be not batted an eye about. And it's sad because one of my other flavors is in that movie, and because of the actions of another character, he actually realized he was better than the way he was acting. So the messages in those movies are lost because other people are throwing shade on it. Because, oh my gosh, you're drawing attention to that lifestyle. It's a legal lifestyle. Just because you do not want to take part in it doesn't mean you should be mad at them for being comfortable with it. Our job as human beings is to lift, support, and encourage each other. And ironically, Death Race 2050 basically says, hey, audience, viewers, you have all the power in this world. You tell these corporations what you like. If you don't want something, tell them. One voice, tell them. But then he convinced the entire population of the United States to run over the chairman, which was absolutely hilarious. And then started a civil war because he said, hey, you guys are in the driver's seat. Drive. May the best driver win. And he's sitting back with his navigator laughing his butt off. That's a great way to, well, for one thing, decrease the population of the planet. Or not even the planet, just to decrease the population of the country and get a better form of government put in place. Because once the dust settles, they're going to need people to rule them. But tell me in the comments, have you seen either Death Race 2000 or Death Race 2050? Have you seen them both? Which do you prefer? Will you watch them? Will you avoid them because of everything I said goes on in it? Let me know in the comments. And just remember, kindness is the key to understanding. Be kind to me. Be kind to each other. Again, these are my opinions. Feel free to disagree. That is how we have discussions instead of arguments. And find the like button. Tend to whatever injuries or injustices it may have accrued during the week. Then find and rescue the subscribe button from zombies. And have a great night, great day. Bye.